Yeah, we get on the bus.
Whatever you want, you can go and get it done. You can drive on nights.
Okay, I'm recording you.
You can drive on nights. See the sun. Whenever you want, you can go and have.
Learn out.
When me and my friend Mike were younger, we would always love to explore places, specifically scary places. We would always not really have a lot of time. We were 15 and we were stupid. So this one particular time we decided to explore a cemetery. We arrived there late at night, I'd say about 10 p.m. We tried the gates and the gates was locked. We found a little fence and we hopped it. We weren't really in the cemetery for that long, but I remember the moment happened, so I had to go pee, so I went by a tree and started peeing. When all of a sudden I hear some weird metallic robot sound. I don't know what it could be, but I got startled and I ran. I ran back to Mike and I told him what I heard. But he seemed to think it was funny and he didn't believe me. He thought I was just trying to scare him. But I assured him I was not. Once again, he still didn't believe me. So we kept on searching. We all had flashlights, I forgot to mention. I was flashing my light by a tree when I passed something. It looks like a crouched human crouched down. I flashed my light back in the spot and it's gone. At this point, I ran away screaming. Mike told me to shut up and we can get caught. I told him what I saw and he thought it was funny then and didn't believe me. I would say we were standing there for about a good 10 minutes. All of a sudden we heard this weird noise. We didn't know what it was, but let's just say we booked it out of there. We were very, very, very fast. Faster than probably the fastest person on earth. We got to the car, and as he was starting it up, I looked over and saw these two glowing eyes staring back at me. I told Mike to step on it, and so he did. Now Mike actually believed me. He didn't tell me this before, but he told me that he heard something move around in the woods when I was taking a pee behind the tree. So he ran back and decided to play a prank on me, but I was back there before he was. I had no idea what that could have been, but I didn't really know about what the rake was at that time, so later on I found out about the rake from reading creepypastas online. And then I thought that could be the culprit for the incident. But who knows to this day. I still know what that metallic thud type robot sound was that I heard by the tree. Back a couple years ago, I worked at the job I hated the most, Walmart. I barely got paid anything. I only got paid $10 an hour. I was working as a cashier and a clothes stocker. I was specifically doing the night shift, 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. Nothing really never happened to me there that was supernatural or strange. But the only time something strange or paranormal stuff happened was about a few months ago. So I got to my shift and the first 2 hours was normal. Then I went back to this shelf to restock it, and I hear something coming from the bathroom. I couldn't really explain the noise. It sounded like someone was talking, or someone dropped like a heavy object on the floor and picked it up and kept on dropping it over and over again. I decided I'll stock these clothes and then go investigate and see what it is. So I get done stocking the clothes and I go see what it is. And it was coming from the men's bathroom. I knock on the door and say, "Is anybody in there?" No answer. I knock once again, and this time I heard some weird noise, like a sniff, like a. I didn't know what it was, so I burst in. There didn't seem to be nobody in there. I looked in each stall, empty. I turned and went back out. I was very paranoid. And quite frankly, I was shooken up about what happened. So I went back to stalking again. It wasn't until about an hour later in my shift when I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the customer employees only bathroom. Sorry, not the customer. I went to the employees only bathroom. I started to do my business, and when I was done, I was washing my hands. I perked my head up when all of a sudden I heard some weird noise. It sounded like it was coming in from the walls. Better yet, it sounded like it was coming from the vents. It sounded like something was pounding on the vent, trying to break it down. I ran out the bathroom immediately. I don't know why, but I just had an urge to check the men's bathroom again. So I went in there and checked, and both of the stalls were empty. I was about to turn and leave when, all of a sudden, I just happened to take a glance behind the door, and I saw this weird, white, pale, humanoid thing. It had no nose, it had no eyes. The eyes were just black sockets, sharp teeth, and its tongue was wide open. I even saw some saliva dripping down from it. I screamed and ran out of there. I ended my shift early, and I told my boss the next morning. My boss didn't seem to believe me. I quit that job right after. I had no idea what that thing could have been, but I really hope I don't ever see that thing again in my life. It was horrifying. I'm very scared of the dark. Like, I'm really horrified of the dark. Every night, if my mom would come in my room, kiss me goodnight, and then turn off my lamp beside my bed, I would practically scream at her no. One night, my mom told me to stop this foolishness and get over my fear of the dark. So for once, I actually tried to turn the light off to see if I could go to sleep. It took me a while to go to sleep, but eventually I did. The next morning, I felt amazed that I actually managed to last without the light. I told my mom, and she was proud of me. This cycle continued to going on for weeks and months, until eventually it all stopped. And you're once again about to learn why. So one night, once again, I was sleeping with the light off, when all of a sudden I hear my door open and close. I didn't want to call out Mom because it could have been my dad. So I didn't want to get confused up with it. So I peeked my eye out of my cover. It saw some type of thing crawling on my floor. I was scared, so I just kept my eyes closed. Now, we do have a cat and a dog, but this thing did not look like a cat or a dog. It looked like it looks like a mammal or something. It was like the shape of a tiger. And then it began to make some weird noise. It sounded like some panting, wheezing noises. This almost made me wet my bed, but I didn't though. And all of a sudden, the thing climbs up on my bed. I close my eyes as tight as I can. And then I feel like it get on top of me. It wasn't really that heavy, but since the fear that I was feeling at this point, yes, it was heavy. I opened up my left eye, and I had a mirror, and through the reflection of the mirror, I saw this creature looking right at me, staring me down. Its face just in my face, its eyes never leaving my eyes. The thing was kneeled down in front of my face. I closed my eyes once again, and then the creature jumped off my bed and started jumping around my floor, like it was a monkey or something. I was very scared. I thought I could be having a nightmare. I almost attracted attention to the creature. A thought came out of my mind. I can just wait it out. I can go to sleep and wait till morning, and then the creature will be gone. Once again, I stood there. I just lay there for like 5 minutes. I wanted to turn my lamp on, but I thought it could maybe scare away the creature, but I thought it can also make it come at me. I didn't know what to do. Once again, the creature jumped on my bed. At this point, I felt saliva dripping down from its mouth. I felt it fall onto my shirt. And then the creature leaped down my bed, and then I heard the door close. I breathed a sigh of relief. I didn't know what was happening. Then another thought came to my mind. What if they go to my parents' room? What if it entered when they didn't pretend to be asleep? I had to warn them. I tried to flick my light switch, but my hands fell for it. I opened my eyes. My heart began to race. My heart was practically in my stomach. The creature was right there, staring at me. Its mouth open-eyed, opened very wide in a crooked smile. Saliva dripped down from its mouth. It had sharp nails that looked like claws. I wet my bed at the same time as I got scared. And then all of a sudden, I hear some noise. I could tell that something bad was about to happen. I didn't know if the creature wanted to harm me or just stare at me. The creature jumped on my bed, quickly thinking. I rolled under my bed, and I went all the way to the side that the creature stood. The creature started jumping around the room, and I got up, and it was still jumping around the room, thinking I was still under the bed. I ran to my door, opened it, and ran back. Looked behind me, and the creature was following me. It growled and reached for me. I went to the bathroom and locked the door. The creature started trying to get through it by scraping the door with its nails. I grabbed the plunger as a weapon. Then the creature made a hole big enough so I could see inside. It calmed down and went away. I heard police sirens in the distance. The police kicked the bathroom door down and brought me to the station for questioning. My parents were injured that night, but they're okay to this day. That was very scary, thinking what that creature did. It had the intention to come in our house. Just be careful out there, folks. Make sure you always lock your doors at night, because that night, let's just say our door was not locked at all. But now, when I sleep, I always make sure I leave my lamp on and don't turn it back on ever again.